It's 2025 and you think you're passively investing, but you've spent hours comparing Nifty Alpha Low Volatility ETF versus Nifty Quality 30 versus Nifty Next 50 versus Nifty 500, and I can go on. I'm Vikas Kulkarni and I've analyzed performance data from over 500 passive funds and discovered something that'll shock you. I've also made this exact mistake myself, thinking I was being passive while actually making some of the most active investment decisions of my life. Back in 2005, you had two choices for passive investing in India, either the Nifty 50 or the Sensex 30. But today, there are over 629 passive fund schemes. Everyone tells you to just buy index funds, but what they don't tell you is that you're actually making six critical active choices disguised as passive investing, and I'm going to break down each one. Let me start with a number that'll blow your mind. India's passive fund AUM has grown 25% to cross 12 lakh crores. That's 12 lakh crores of investor money that thinks it's being passive. But every rupee of that money represents an active choice masquerading as passive investing. Your first active choice is which index to track. Is it the Nifty 50, Sensex, or the Nifty 500? Each choice is a bet on the market cap, sector allocation, and stock selection methodology. When you pick Nifty 50 over Nifty 500, you're actively betting that large cap stocks like Reliance and HDFC Bank will outperform mid and small caps like IDFC First or Tata Elixir. And that's just the beginning. Wait until you hear the choice number 4. It's the one that fund houses desperately hope you don't understand because it reveals their entire game plan. Your second active choice is falling for smart beta funds. Growth, value, momentum, quality, low volatility. These aren't passive strategies, they're active bets on which factors will outperform. The data shows that the factor performance is cyclical. Value might dominate for 3 years, then momentum takes over, then quality becomes the winner. Unless you can predict which factor will outperform when, spoiler alert, you can't. You're essentially gambling with extra fees. The worst part, most investors don't even realize they're doing this. They feel smart picking a nifty quality fund, thinking they're still passive, but you've just made an active bet that quality stocks will beat the broader market. And here's what the fund houses won't tell you about the success rate of these bets. Your third active choice is ignoring the real cost of sophistication. Basic Nifty 50 ETFs charge 0.1 to 0.3% as fees, but smart beta funds, they often charge 0.5% to 1%, and that extra 0.5% doesn't sound like much, but on a 10 lakh rupees investment over 20 years, it costs you over 5 lakh rupees in lost returns. You're actively choosing to pay more for strategies that have no proven long-term edge. And here's choice number 4, the one fund houses don't want you to understand. Every platform you choose is feeding you different options. Your broker might show you 50 ETFs while your bank's app shows you 200 mutual funds. The platform is curating your choices and you're actively selecting which curator to trust with your financial future. You're not just buying a fund, you're buying into someone else's idea of what options you should see. But wait, it gets worse because every one of these choices triggers something psychologists call choice overload bias. And when I show you the research on this, you'll understand why 60% of investors feel stressed selecting their funds, and nearly 1 in 4 freeze up completely and postpone their investment decisions altogether. Your fifth active choice is when to invest. Rupee cost averaging through SIPs, that's an active choice to spread risk over time. Lump sum investing, again, active choice to bet on immediate market exposure. Even set it and forget it requires you to actively choose the set it part, when to start, how much to invest, which day of the month for your SIP. Remember how this started? You wanted simple passive investing, but every choice you make reveals you're actually an active investor who doesn't want to admit it. You're stuck in the worst of both the worlds, making active decisions without doing active research. Your sixth and final active choice, when to stop. How long will you hold this fund? When will you rebalance? When will you switch strategies? The moment you sell, you've made an active timing decision. True passive investing would mean buying and literally never selling, but that's not what anyone actually does. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. Warren Buffett, the world's greatest active investor, recommends passive investing for everyone else. Not smart beta, not factor investing, not sector rotation, just boring, simple S&P 500 index fund investing. But even Buffett's passive recommendation requires you to make these 6 active choices. So, if pure passive investing is a myth, what's the solution? Start with acknowledging you're making active decisions and making them deliberately, not accidentally. For your index selection, you can use the 70-20-10 rule. 70% in the broadest possible index, Nifty 500 in our case, 20% in small and mid cap funds, and 10% in a developed markets ETF, something like S&P 500. This acknowledges you want some active exposure while keeping most money truly passive. For costs, follow this hierarchy. Direct plans over regular plans. ETFs over index funds if you're investing lump sums. Index funds over ETFs if you're doing SIPs. The cheapest option in each category wins, period. And for platform selection, choose based on execution and not curation. Use platforms that give you access to the broadest range of funds at the lowest costs, not platforms that simplify choices for you. Curation is just another person's active management of your options, and for timing, automate everything possible. Fixed SIP amounts, fixed dates, fixed allocations. Remove as many timing decisions as you can from your future self. Your future self will be emotional, biased, and prone to bad decisions. Your current self can set up systems to protect your future self. And for exits, this is for funds, by the way, and not for individual stocks. Follow the never sell rule with one exception. You can sell when your life circumstances change fundamentally. New job, marriage, kids, house purchase, retirement, etc. Otherwise, you hold on forever. This removes the active decision of market timing from your investing. You now know the uncomfortable truth. Passive investing as pure passivity doesn't exist. You're making 6 active choices whether you admit it or not. The question isn't whether you're active or passive, it's whether you're making these decisions consciously or not. I just gave you a complete framework for making conscious choices in your passive investing strategy. Most finance YouTubers would charge you 5,000 rupees for a course on this, but here's why I'm giving it away for free. I'm building something bigger here. I showed you the 6 hidden active choices in passive investing: index selection, smart beta selection, cost blindness, platform curation, timing, paradox, and exit strategy illusion. Then I gave you 6 specific solutions: the 70-20-10 rule, anti smart beta strategy, cost hierarchy, platform independence, automation protocol, and never sell rule. This framework will save you years of confusion, thousands in unnecessary fees, and protect you from the choice overload that paralyzed 60% of investors in recent studies. More importantly, it will help you build real wealth instead of getting caught in the sophistication trap that keeps most investors poor. If this changed how you think about passive investing, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I'm documenting my entire journey to financial independence, and I share frameworks like this every week that you won't find anywhere else. The subscribe button costs you nothing but gives me everything. It tells YouTube this content matters and helps me reach more people who need to hear this.